Thanks for staying with us. You're live on CMTV News. We'll begin with our major stories, our first stories for today. The first one has to do with a follow-up story of what we did last week of Osinachi's husband. That's Pique. He has denied all the 23 accusations that were levied against him, that he does not have a hand in the death of his wife. So if you want to get more about that, we're going to have it in this edition of the news. Of course, we have another exciting story of this Cameroonian student, that's Nkwain, who dies while trying to rescue a girl, Marie Christelle. We also have a story of Hollywood star, that's Johnny Depp, gets a grand victory against wife. And that and a lot of interesting other story will be yours in this edition of the CMTV News. But before we go, don't touch that dial. I'll be right back. Osinachi's husband has denied all the accusations levied against him, that he does not have a hand in the death of his wife. This was in Nigeria, where, according to BBC News, Osinachi's husband sparked outreach online as the husband of the top Nigerian gospel singer, who died in April in Abuja, has pleaded not guilty to all the charges relating the death and allegation against wife. Osinachi's death sparked outrage after her family alleged she was in a domestic violence marriage. She sang a song in 2017, a hit song, Nkwain, which had 77 million YouTube views. This is to say that Pique faced 23 charges in total. Some of them were related to domestic violence, including emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse, as well as culpable homicide, an offense that can be punished with the death penalty. The High Court in Abuja ordered that Mr. Pique be remanded in prison. He has been in detention while the police have been investigating the cause of Osinachi's death. Initial reports said that the 42-year-old Osinachi music star had been sick with throat cancer, but the family denied this allegation. Many Nigerians, especially Christians, reacted with sorrows and anger to the news of Osinachi's death. Some went online to urge religious leaders not to advise church members to stay in abusive relationships. The pastor at the church where she had to be the lead singer, Paul Enuche of Dynamos International Gospel Center, said as a faith group they had no tolerance of domestic violence abuse, and they had no idea that Osinachi was in an abusive relationship, noting that the late star left behind 4 children. Away from that news, we take you to our next story, which has to do with a Cameroonian student, Nkwain, that is why trying to save a friend, Christelle Mariu. Let's get details of that report. A 29-year-old Cameroonian student in Quebec, Canada, Nkwain, has died after diving into a river to rescue his Ivorian friend, Christelle Mariu. According to reports, Nkwain and his friend, both students at the Laval University of Quebec, Canada, we are taking a walk on the St. Charles River Bridge. Christelle Marie accidentally slipped and fell into the cold river. Nkwain, who is a novice in swimming, dived into the river to rescue his friend and died immediately. The body of the Cameroonian student, Nkwain, has been found while the rescue team keeps searching for Christelle Marie. All we can say is, please rest in peace. God knows why it happened that way. So Nkwain, keep resting in peace. We take you to our next story, which has to do with Barcelona defender Gerard. Barcelona defender Gerard was caught cheating on his wife, top pop Shakira. So let's get detail of that report. It says Gerard and Shakira are reportedly on the verge of splitting up with their relationship. It says the Barcelona defender was caught in bed with a 20-year-old student. There is rumor that Gerard cheated on Shakira with a mother of another footballer. It is reported that the couple have been living separately for a few weeks after Gerard was kicked out of the family home by Colombia pop singer Shakira. According to Spanish outlet El Periódico, he is now staying in a separate apartment and has been living a party lifestyle. Gerard and Shakira started dating after meeting at the 2010 World Cup, where the couple have 2 children. Names are Sasha and Mila. Alright, we're taking you away from that interesting story. On to our next story on board. We have CY International and Mike Monsta rave. Recently, Mike Monsta made a post on social media that I don't like this issue of people popping up to say support your own. Be in the field of music, be in the field of movie, whatever you're doing. I don't like people forcing people to love what you do. If it's good, people are going to follow it. You don't need to start forcing people to support your own. But CY International popped up to say otherwise. In his word, he said, should we all hate and stop supporting our own campaign because of you? Asking Mike Monsta. Comedian O Pancho CY International is asking rapper Mike Monsta official if people should now stop supporting your own campaign. They support your own campaign. That's an 80-20 campaign because of Mike Monsta. And due to the fact that Mike Monsta does not like it doesn't make any sense, like he has to push it forward. Remember that the rapper confessed a few days ago that he hates the concept of support your own. If something is good, people are going to support it. Why O Pancho later promises to fully address Mike Monsta after his show, which is coming up on 80-20 campaign. That's another interesting story. But we keep our fingers crossed. We keep our fingers on the decks, waiting for more updates. Any other thing we're going to be gisting you. Away from that, let's talk about another thing social media is doing. Social media is on it again, mocking our own South African rapper, Nasty C. That he has a very fat toes. This comes up when Zimbabwe is known for cutting their toes and selling. So let's get details of that story. Social media mocks Nasty C big toes following news that people are selling their toes for money in Zimbabwe. Social media reacted differently to the image, and others had to zoom South African rapper Nasty C's feet, mocking him that he would get millions of rams if he could sell one of his toes. Others also mentioned that his entire generation will be out of poverty if only he could accept to sell one of his toes to Zimbabwean toe buyers. While others says he will be the next Elon Musk if only he wants to be a multi-billionaire. While all this is going on, others are feeling skeptical and feeling bad about the whole thing, where they say, although many were mocking the rapper for having big toes, others were not happy. They were skeptical, where they said they thought that some of the Twitter users should be banned from impersonating celebrities and leading them to depression and sudden suicide. He says it's not his fault that he was born like that. It's nature, and he cannot cheat on nature. For sure, he cannot cheat on nature. Let's take it to our next story, which has to do with Hollywood star. Our own Hollywood star Johnny Depp just got a grand legal victory, winning his ex-wife Amber Heard. It says that Hollywood star Johnny Depp had got a big legal victory, winning his multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit against ex-wife Amber Heard. So that said, I want us to listen to the video. By the time we come back, we'll have details on that report. Listen to the video.
It was the verdict many of those outside court had been hoping for.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Johnny Depp argued his ex-wife Amber Heard defamed him when she published a newspaper opinion piece saying she was a victim of domestic violence. And the jury agreed, ruling she acted with malice.
We, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million.
The jury also found Ms. Heard was defamed by a lawyer acting for Johnny Depp, awarding her $2 million in a countersuit. She didn't hang around to comment. Mr. Depp wasn't in court for the verdict, leaving his lawyers to thank the jury.
Today's verdict confirms what we have said from the beginning, that the claims against Johnny Depp are defamatory and unsupported by any evidence.
We have justice today. It has also showed people that men and women can be victims,
In a statement released later, Amber Heard said, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly humiliated." From the UK, where he's been performing on stage, Johnny Depp released his own statement. "I am truly humbled. A new chapter has finally begun. Truth never perishes."
The jury here certainly seems to have picked a clear winner after this grueling case, and that's Johnny Depp. What's not yet clear is whether Hollywood will come calling again.
If not, this confronting case might just have ruined 2 careers. Barbara Miller, ABC News, Fairfax, Virginia.
That video was gotten from newsabc.net. We get details of that story. We see the Washington Post has added another editorial note to the top Amber Heard up about the surviving domestic abuse after the verdict in the case brought by Johnny Depp found the article to be defamatory. On Wednesday, the jury handed down its verdict, unanimously determining that Amber Heard, 36, defamed the ex-husband, Johnny Depp, 58, 3 times in her op, which was published in December 2018. Depp's name was not mentioned in the article. The jury awarded Johnny Depp $15 million in damages, but the judge reduced to $10.35 million due to state law, and Amber Heard, who was awarded $2 million in her defamation countersuit, plans to appeal the verdict. On Thursday, the digital version of the Heard op became amended with an editor's note that reads, "In 2019, Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for defamation arising out of this 2018 op. On June 1st, 2022, following a trial in Fairfax County, Val-Secuse Court, a jury found Heard liable on 3 counts for the following statement, which Depp claims were false and defamatory. The first one was spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. The second one was, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic violence, and I felt full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Number 3, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect women accused of abuse. The jury separately found that Depp, through his lawyer Adam Wortman, defamed Amber Heard in 1 of 3 counts in her countersuit. Legal analyst Emily D. Becker tells People that she thinks it's a smart move for the Washington Post to add an editor's note rather than deleting the article from the website already, because this case is also watched and commented on. I think the ops is still needed to contest, and I appreciate that they put up the notice rather than deleting the article completely. It would have been easy to just take it down and say nothing, but I appreciate the fact that the Washington Post decided to keep the article, she ended. So that was all what we had for you in today's edition of our CMTV News. That's it. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back for our amazing request. Stay tuned.